Hi everyone, this is Richard, and once again, thank you for watching another episode of Sidewalks Entertainment. Here's our host, Lori Rosales, who is appearing on Zoom to tell us who our guests today are from the competition series, Second Chance Stage. We have the host and one of the judges. Who are they?
One of them you may have seen in shows like Private Practice, Murder in the First, and if you've been following him since the beginning of his career, some of his earlier work include How Stella Got Her Groove Back, Brown Sugar, and actually a little bit more recently, Set It Up. And joining him is a New York Times best-selling author, Emmy Award winner, and a former NFL player, Emmanuel Acho. Taye Diggs and Emmanuel Acho will be joining us right here on Sidewalks Entertainment. I'd like to welcome Taye Diggs and Emmanuel Acho to Sidewalks Entertainment. Hi guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
Thanks for having us.
So Taye, you've led a long career as an actor, not only on screen, but also on stage. Tell me about how you started career in acting.
Oh, the career in that. Oh, wow. That was unexpected. My mother, I have 4 brothers and sisters. My mother raised us and then went back to school for theater and dance. So she dragged us to rehearsals, and I was amazed at watching my mother go from being mom to all these different characters when she would either dance or act. So that's when I got bit by the bug and went to school at Syracuse to study a little bit more deeply, and then moved to New York and haven't looked back.
Emmanuel, so many of us know your work in the very popular series Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man.
Mm-hmm.
How did the beginning and creation of this series come about, and where did your inspiration come from?
Yeah, I heard the pain of the world. After the murder of George Floyd, I felt that I had to do something. It was a calling on my life. And I said, well, you know what? It's time for me to speak. And so I sat in Austin, Texas. I rented out a studio space. I hired a wedding videographer, actually, because I had no video team. My best friend is an Olympic gold medalist in track and field. She stood in as my producer. And I sat down in front of a camera, recorded it, and just spoke from the heart. Within 5 days, it had 25 million views. Next thing you know, I'm getting a no-caller ID number from Matthew McConaughey. He says he wants to sit down with me. I'll sit down with him for episode 2. Next thing you know, I'm getting a no-caller ID number call from Oprah Winfrey. She says, hey, I want to partner with you in producing this and writing a book. Now, I suggest do not pick up no-caller ID numbers. It worked for me. I cannot guarantee, Lori or viewers, that it will work for you all, but that was the impetus for Uncomfortable Conversations, and since then, I've been trying to listen to the heart of the broken world and just chase the needs.
That's excellent. Excellent.
And Taye, as I mentioned, you do have a very long career in acting, and I had to ask you, of all the acting projects that you've been in, which holds the most memories for you, or which might happen to be your personal favorite?
Ooh, that's a good question. This might sound corny, but I'm always open to kind of new experiences. And of all the projects that I've been a part of, I've never been moved more emotionally than the show that we're on, Second Chance Stage, where it takes performers that were going following their dreams, and for whatever reason they had to put their dreams on the back burner and deal with personal struggles, but now are given another chance to go back on that path. Hearing these people's stories and being affected by what they've been through, and then seeing them perform, moved me in ways that I didn't think I could be moved. You know, I've been, as you said, I've been acting for quite a while. I've been lucky to have played all of these different characters and roles, but I've never been as emotionally moved as often as I was when we filmed this program. So I'm very grateful for that. That was very unexpected.
so I can only imagine how emotional being on the show is. You meet all sorts of people from all walks of life. Emmanuel, how would you how would you describe what your experience has been like meeting so many different people?
Yeah, I think that the beautiful part was it expanded my heart for empathy. You oftentimes may look down on someone for failing at their first chance, not realizing there are stories of individuals who had to give up their career because their dad was dying of cancer. And so there was this one act, Maddie and the Cubano, and they had to move back to Florida to tend to an ailing grandparent or an ailing parent. And after the parent passed away, they finally felt as though they could go back and pursue their career. And so my heart, it expanded, the aperture of my heart, if you will, it expanded to really be able to see other individuals. And like Taye said, on our show, Second Chance Stage, there were just talented acts that weren't just talented. It didn't just stop there, but their stories were inspiring, and you could see yourself in all of the different contestants. It was beautiful.
So, Taye, without giving too much away, of all of the people that you've seen on stage so far, which one kind of resonated with you the most as far as their backstories went?
Emmanuel and I were just speaking of this one performance, Shelby Floyd, very early in the shooting. To look at her and to hear her sing, once she opened her mouth, she's one of the best singers I've ever heard in my life. But then after hearing her story and what she had been through and how so many people told her that she was not good at what she loved, I was flabbergasted. I was personally moved to tears after her performance. Everybody jumped to their feet. And, as I said before, I've been around for a bit. I've done a lot. But this was a moment that I had never experienced before, especially when it comes to performing. I didn't know that people like her existed. I felt like if you're talented, people will notice it and you move forward. She had an entire story that I never would have thought she had, and then was, brilliant afterwards. So I was like, I want anything that shows me, it forced me to look at performing differently, and that's something that I'm hoping everybody else realizes as well.
Well said.
So, Manuel, you host Second Chance Stage. What caught your interest in being a part of the show?
I think the authenticity with this show, that's what separates it. So many shows, especially variety competition shows, you go on them to be impressed. But this show, you're impacted. It's been said that I can impress you with my success or even with my ability, but I can impact you with my scars. And everyone on our show bears their scars proudly. There was a saxophonist whose house had burned down, and he had, to some degree, lost everything. There was a dancer who was told she was too overweight to dance. And she went on stage and she danced to a song where the lyrics said, "I love my body because my body loves me." And as she is grasping at her body, you can see the song is embracing her as she's physically embracing herself. I was so impacted by the show. If you're watching the show on HBO Max, Second Chance Stage, you won't be envious of the performers, but rather you'll be empathetic towards the performers. Because rather than looking at somebody and saying, "I don't have that ability," you'll be reminded of the innate ability that you have and the second chance you need to go take.
And anything is possible. I
That
love that.
that as well.
So before we run out of time, I have a lot of messages for you guys from your fans. Let's just put it this way: my phone and my emails did not stop when people found out that you guys are going to be on the show. So I had to narrow it down. Taye, I have a fan message from Melissa in San Jose, California. She says, "Hello." Again, her name is Melissa. She wanted me to make sure you knew that.
Okay.
She said she loved you in private practice, and she thought you were so funny and set it up. And also, on a side note, not just Melissa, but all of us loved you and how Stella got your groove back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And yes, I'm very, very single. Very single this holiday
Melissa,
season.
I hope you heard that. Again, her name is Melissa.
646
Again, her name is Melissa.
I'm just kidding.
Melissa on X. You can find her on Instagram at Melissa.
I'm just serious.
Okay. Emmanuel, you did have similar messages as well, but again, I had to narrow it down and keep in mind that we're airing this on TV. But you do have a very large fan base as well. Melissa's also one of them, but I was like, I can't say it for both, so we'll just, yeah. Anyways, your question is actually a fan question, and it is, what are your hobbies in your free time? And oh, I'm so sorry. This is from Sylvia in Union City.
Sylvia, hobbies, I would suggest I play the piano. It's very kind of cathartic for me, just relaxing. It's just, I go back to my house overlooking Hollywood and just sit on the piano and exhale. So I would suggest that's probably my favorite hobby. I'm not like trained. I just play by ear. I can't read music. So I just do that. So Sylvia, that would be the hobby.
Good for you.
I just have to say, both of you are just so fantastic. Thank you so much for responding to your fans. And also, thank you so much for your work on Second Chance Stage. Unfortunately, we are out of time. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
So everyone, you can watch more of Taye Diggs and Emmanuel Acho in Magnolia Network's Second Chance Stage on Max.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.